You're watching the K2 News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, Wyoming, and thank you for joining us. I'm Taylor Wirtz.
And I'm David Furtado. We begin this evening in Sublette County, where winds this weekend could cause the Roosevelt fire to continue spreading in western Wyoming. Starting today and continuing tomorrow, red flag warnings are in effect, making it difficult for aircrafts to drop water and fire retardant to assist with the fire.
The fire has now increased to just under 58,000 acres and is currently 40% contained. Winds in that area are expected to reach up to 20 miles per hour, with wind gusts reaching anywhere from 25 to 35 miles. The fire that has been burning for 15 days now has been determined to be human-caused, and over 1,100 firefighters trying to gain ground of the blaze.
We are expecting red flag warnings again and again and again. Air operations get shut down when the winds get too gusty and they're unable to fly safely. Firefighters will be out here. We'll be out here doing their job, and if it gets too dangerous and they don't feel safe, they will get to a safe place.
And I'll have a further breakdown of what the area in Sublette County can expect in the full weather forecast. But in the meantime, 2 men have died after becoming trapped inside of a trench on a construction site in Wyoming. Teton County Undersheriff Matt Carr says the deaths were the result of a tragic accident. 2 men were inside the trench the trench, which was between 12 and 15 feet deep on a home construction site Friday afternoon. Officials say the men likely suffocated after the trench collapsed, trapping them inside. Authorities identified the men as Juan Baez Sanchez and Victorino Garcia Perez. No other information about the men has been released.
And hunters out there, listen up. Officials are encouraging you to get your animal tested for chronic wasting disease. The Wyoming Game and Fish Department say the fatal disease can be found in the central nervous system of these animals. While there haven't been any cases yet of humans getting CWD to date, animal studies suggest that CWD poses a risk to non-human primates such as monkeys. This raises the concern that CWD may pose a risk to humans and suggests that the importance of having deer, elk, and moose tested to prevent exposures to CWD.
Get their animals tested after they harvest. They can do that by dropping heads off here at the office, as long as we have license information and contact information for them, or at any of our check stations. If those animals they harvest come back positive, we do recommend that they're not consumed and they can be disposed of in a landfill.
And the University of Wyoming's Alumni Association is asking members whether to shrink the size of its governing board, which now sits at 43 members. In a letter to alumni, the association's president, Jane Farrell, says a smaller board will cut costs and benefit the group in other ways. The proposal would gradually lower that number to 19 members. People already on the board with terms ending after 2019 would complete their full term. Voting ends Sunday. The change would require backing from 2/3 of voting alumni. And the chilly winds of fall have swept over Casper and bring with it Fall Fest. The second annual Fall Fest took place at David Street Station and brought hundreds of people to downtown Casper. 15 vendors and artisans brought all homegrown produce, sculptures, and all things pumpkin spice to put on display. Live music, horse rides, and even a train were just some of the fun things available to those who attended.
We have our trackless train going on. We have a few crafts going on, pumpkin bowling, artisan alleys down here, pumpkin painting with little ceramic pumpkins and wooden boards. We have some beer, we have some food vendors, we have some farmers markets, just kind of all sorts of fun things going on.